So sometimes you want to do things differently, and this is one of those times. I decided that I was going to try and just look at movie posters and not metrics, Metacritics, cinema scores, anything like that, and just choose a movie to go see this weekend because I didn't want to see the Dive Dark Lost in the Water movie. Maybe later, but didn't want to see it today. So I decided to see My Dead Friend Zoe, and I based it completely off the poster I saw, which is not this poster, it is this poster. And I thought it was going to be a funny comedy. Um, it's got funny parts. So My Dead Friend Zoe is directed by Kyle Hausmann-Stokes. I think this is his first movie, and he's a veteran, which we'll explore a lot later in this movie. And it's got Sonequa Martin Green in it, of Walking Dead fame, and Natalie Morales of Girlfriend and Parks and Rec fame for me. I know she's done other stuff, but that's where she's famous from in my mind. Got a couple little known actors. You might have heard of them on the indie circuit, and that is Ed Harris and Morgan Freeman, and they are phenomenal in this movie. So, like I said in the opening, I didn't see a trailer, I didn't read a synopsis, I just went to this movie. And I gotta admit, I am really glad I did. This is a really good movie. I guess you would call it a dramedy, because it's not a dark comedy. I know that that's like some subgenre stuff I've read after I watched the movie to see what other people were kind of classifying it as. Um, you guys don't know this. I don't go into that many inside baseball things yet, but I don't. I try not to watch anybody's reviews and read anything on it before I do this part because I'm so scared I'm just gonna regurgitate someone else's thoughts, which basically makes this a completely blind taste test, right? And it tasted great. This movie was amazing. Barely any fat on it. A couple scenes I felt like went a little long, but not to the point where it's like, ugh, get to the next scene already or anything like that. Um, just enough where you could sometimes feel the scene stretch a little bit. There were also a few times I felt like maybe the only time I felt let down in the movie was because I thought the movie was going to go a certain way and I had it figured out, which would lead into some of my favorite parts of the film, which is what the hell? I didn't expect that to happen. And when I say that, I don't mean like aliens land and blow everybody up. It's not that kind of movie. But from this point of my review, if you want to stop this and go see the movie and come back and watch the rest, I'm not going to go into deep spoilers or anything like that. But if you've gotten this far in the review and you're like, you know what, he seems like he really liked this one, I want to go see it. Go see it. It's really good. And I mean, I still haven't watched the trailer to the movie, so I don't know if the trailer spoils anything. I can tell you the poster and then that poster that neither one of those really spoil anything. The second poster might make you think it's like some weird rave comedy about somebody hanging out with their dead friend, and it's the latter of that for sure. So let's talk Sonequa Martin Green in this movie. I loved her in The Walking Dead, and I know there's a lot of actual veterans in this movie. Like most of the cast is veterans. So I was thinking she shows up as a faux soldier in The Walking Dead, and now she's a soldier in this. I'm not saying she played a faux. Let me rephrase that. She's not a fake soldier in The Walking Dead, spoiler for The Walking Dead, but she's played a couple of soldiers. I haven't watched any of the Star Trek stuff yet, but I'm starting to think maybe she's like a soldier in that too. I don't know. But yeah, dude, she kills it in this. She's got this way of like you think she's gonna break into this emotional cry, and then she just doesn't. And she pulls that whole old school like what Bryan Cranston thing of if an actor trying not to cry is going to make you cry in the audience. I wept in this movie. I mean, I don't mean like way boo-hoo. I'm not trying to put my man card up there and be like, oh, I didn't cry that much. But I mean, normally a movie like this, it's gonna like make your stomach stir a little bit and make your eyes weep a little bit. There was like a genuine tear rolling down my cheek at a scene in this movie, probably twice. Once on a pontoon boat, So when you see the movie and you see the pontoon boat scene, spoiler, there's a little tightening of the chest right there and a little bit of tear. And then there's a graveyard scene later that is just the movie, man. It's great. Natalie Morales. So, what's that? Tom, was that his name in Parks and Rec's girlfriend? Spoiler, I guess, for Parks and Rec. Kind of on and off again, spoiler. Girlfriend. But that's all I know her from, man. I'm sure she's, like I said, done a lot of other stuff, but she was so good in this movie. She is a lot of the levity in this film, but some of it is like assholeness. And then you start realizing, you know, because in the beginning of the movie, is it going to go like a supernatural way? You don't feel that at all. But when you first go in and it's obvious that she's talking to someone who's not there. So now, you know, I mean, is that really her ghost? Because there's certain times where she's like picking shit up off the table and where she's sitting in a chair and you think maybe, oh, wait, no, it's gone. But I was waiting to see if maybe that thing was moved or what she was holding was in the scene, but it's a theater, so I couldn't pause it and look. So that'd be fun on the rewatch. But she's so good in this, man. She's hilarious. But she's you know, she's like a demon within Sonequa Martin Green's character, which name is Merritt. Dude, what a cool ass military character name. Like, how many awesome comic book military characters could have been like named Merritt? Oh, I love the name Merritt. That's really, really cool. But Merritt it's got, you know, Natalie Morales' character, Zoe. I'm like, what's her name again? Oh yeah, it's in the fucking title. Zoe is just constantly there. Now there's a couple of parts in the film where Merritt goes and like jogging. She's a runner and she hits some dog tags, and I guess we assume, or I just can't see anymore, but I'm assuming they're supposed to be Zoe's maybe. And that's the big, what the hell? How did her friend die? Because we get a lot of really badass flashbacks to them being stationed in Afghanistan, and it's really good, man. Like, really cool. You can tell that like a veteran was behind the director's lens and helped write this, and I think it's because I don't want to go into any spoilers, but there's a lot of life experience from this director within this movie. It's like inspired by a true story. I think it might say based on a true story, or inspired by a true story at the beginning. And there's some pretty cool twist to that you'll get to see. Definitely stick around for the credits. There's like a very, really positive message. And that's the other thing. That's why I don't want to call this a dark comedy. That's it. Yeah, I don't want to call it a dark comedy because it's more of, again, like a dramedy. It's way more of a drama with some comedy sprinkled over and swirled in a little bit. So I don't want to butcher this, but I think it's Utkarsh Ambudkar plays this character Alex, and he owns like an assistant living facility, and he's like a really kind character, but he is, I don't know if he's like a stand-up comedian in real life or whatever. I kind of get that vibe from him, but he is fucking, you need him in this movie. He brings the heart mixed with the comedy instead of Zoe, who does some funny lines, but it's also kind of assholish and sarcastic and dark. So they're kind of comedy polar opposites in this dramedy thing, because you're not going to get a whole lot of comedy out of Ed Harris's character, except for every now and then when he kind of does that grandpa, you didn't know shit, we did this when we grew up. He does a few of those lines that seem to get some chuckles out of the other people I was in the theater with. But yeah, man, the cast is great, and they feel so fucking real, like just genuine characters. I feel like that's what's missing from so many movies today, and it was really sad because the theater was pretty empty. I got really nervous there for a little bit because I only got there maybe 5 or 6 minutes early, and I was just it. And then right before the movie came on, a few more people came in, but it was, I took a photo of the theater. We're like, God, I hope, maybe I should have read the reviews to this. Does this movie suck? No, this movie doesn't suck. In fact, I would give it a, yeah, That. Definitely that. Whatever letter I put there, that movie earned it in my book, and I'm pretty sure it's positive. Don't know how positive yet, but pretty sure it's positive. So, yeah, definitely go check out My Dead Friend Zoe this weekend. Hopefully, you can get some friends to watch it. It's got a message about veterans, but it's not like a veterans movie. I mean, a veteran would enjoy it, but so would anyone else. If you're carrying around grief, if you have, trauma and stuff that you've been through, if you're wondering how Zoe dies, don't spoil it, man. Like, don't. Like, let the movie take you on the ride so you can be like, whoa, 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 shit. Good job, movie. I mean, I was really glad it wasn't a rave comedy. I just hope more people start raving about it. I got 2 kids. I can do dad jokes. All right, I'm leaving. Still working on catchphrases. It's not stitch me or stitch sack or stitches. Stitch is going to be live action this year, apparently.